right, welcome to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and we're glad you're joining us today. We are here today with Rosalie School. So when I asked what do they really call it, first let me introduce you who's next to me. This is Mr. Doug Haynes. Is it Haynes?
Haynes.
Haynes. Well, welcome, and you're the principal.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, so you have kind of labeled it your own little label, and you're calling it the Rosalie School. So why?
It's K through 8 doesn't really have an elementary school or a primary school or intermediate school. So I was just kind of sitting there one day and I was just thinking it's just the Rosalie School, and that's kind of what I went for. Yeah.
That's good. I'm sure. I mean, because it gives a sense of community at least, and for people who are like, well, is it a junior high or middle school, or is it at least it's just the Rosalie School?
That's right. Yeah.
That's good. I like it. Okay, so you are really K through 8th grade, so you really are an elementary and middle school kind of combined. You said you have about 180 students, and you have about 20 staff members. Okay, good. And you said they're broken into really kind of two sections. You do K through 4th grade, and then 5 through 8th.
Right. Our school kind of functions in two different sections. We have a 5 through 8 that's on one hall, and they actually have lockers, and they function more as a middle school. And then we have a K through 4, which they're all on one hall, and they're kind of an elementary school, and it really kind of breaks down into that. When you look at our schedule and you look at the way we kind of do things and think about things, that's the way we think. We think 5 through 8 here and K through 4 here.
So do the K through 4 go to the same teacher all day like a traditional elementary, and then does 5 through 8 do?
Yes.
Yes. They rotate.
They rotate
so
classes.
Even 5th graders rotate.
Yes.
Like to English, math, history, and science.
And we have with 180 students, we have a limited staff, so our K through 4 stay with one person because we don't have enough teachers for them to swap around with.
Right.
We have one teacher per grade.
Right.
In our 5th through 8th grade, same thing. That's one of the things we're looking at that may change in the future. Is right now we have somebody teaching 5th grade math and 8th grade math, and we'd really like to see if we can get it where it's more centralized, where maybe you don't have to teach that wide of an that wide of a range of ages, and you could concentrate more on the upper or the lower kids.
Right. Well, and they're not in the same classroom at the same time, are they?
No, they're in different classrooms. Just like in high school, you have a 9th grade math, a 10th grade math, 11th grade math, 12th grade math, whatever you may call it. We have that with 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade.
It's just one teacher might has to teach 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Exactly.
8th grade, all those maths.
Exactly.
So, and not that they can't, but that's a lot.
It's
preps.
It's
a huge amount of preps for them.
It's a lot of prep. It's a lot of, a lot of teachers, most of them kind of veer towards some sort of age group that they would prefer. Some people like upper level kids, some people like, elementary kids.
Well,
that's
I understand that. I've done high school down to,
right.
So I understand
and
that.
so that's why we would like to see if we can get it so maybe we can tweak that a little bit and be a little bit more specific. Of course, you want to be as specific as you can in what you do.
Well, that's true. And I think you're better expert if you stay focused on at least one, or, I guess if you have to do 2 items. Well, good. All right. So I asked you a question, the very first question I asked you, which is, what would you say is the best thing about Rosalie? The Rosalie School.
Well, I've been in schools that have as many as 800 kids.
Wow. Okay.
I taught at Fort Payne for a year, and of course, it's a very large city system. The best thing I found about Rosalie is it's so small that I know all the kids. I know probably 95% of their parents now. We can be very individualized. It's so small that I can call kids in and go over their test scores individually or by groups. We can recognize things really easily. We can get things done real fast because all I have to do is go ask one person, hey, what about this for middle school math? And they thumbs up or thumbs down, and we're going about our business. So it's really, I walk 10 steps and I can be at one end of the school. You can really focus in and be very specific with your kids and instructional needs and all those type things.
One of the things that I think I would love, and I'm sure you could probably agree, is that you get to know, like literally, them in kindergarten, and then provided they stay, you know them in 8th grade. So you get to enjoy them for 8 years.
And it's funny you said that. I had some kids standing in the line to use the restroom this afternoon, and the second grade teacher came out with her kids a little early, and so all the 7th and 8th grade kids that were standing in line for the water fountain, oh, Miss Day, remember when I was your favorite kid?
I know.
And so they're, like you said, that's all, it's probably as close to a one-room schoolhouse as you can get nowadays.
Right.
The community is extremely supportive, and they really want to see that school do well. And so, again, we can throw a rock and hit all of our community support. They drive by the school and see it every day, so they
good.
see the things we're doing, and they're excited about that.
And and it builds probably better characters for the kids in general, especially when they get older to be adults, that they've seen that teamwork, they've seen that, like that community in a school. Because so many times, even when we were younger, it was school.
Mm-hmm.
You were going to school. It wasn't, hey, I get to go. Yeah, you got to hang out with your friends, but it wasn't about the teachers. It was just about your friends. And now, especially in a smaller community, it's not. It's the teachers are involved, the kids are involved. Everybody kind of gets involved.
And I went to college. My college roommate graduated from Austin in Decatur. He graduated with 380 kids, and he didn't know, 300 of them.
Yeah.
So, and he always thought it was odd that I graduated, because I graduated from a school about like Pisgah. So, we had 68 in our senior class. So, I know everybody, and it kind of keeps you drawn in there. He has no desire to go to Austin and see anybody from Austin or anything like that. And I'm not speaking ill of Austin, but he doesn't feel that same sense of community.
Don't. Well, I grew up in a big city right outside of Denver, Colorado. Huge. So I understand we had 200 kids. I knew a lot of them, but none of them. You just kind of lose some of that.
Yes.
So, all right. So let's go back just a little bit. Let's talk about your history of your, where did you go to school for? What did you teach? What's your background?
I started out as an English teacher, and I
English?
taught. Yes, I did. I know. I get that response almost every single time.
I know. Sorry.
So I started out teaching middle school English, and I've taught high school English. I've taught typing. I've taught typing, computers.
Do you know how to type, though?
I do know how to type very well.
You do?
Yes, I'm a very good typer.
Well, I'm a typing teacher.
Typist, yes.
So I could test you?
You could.
We should compete.
I don't know if I can compete with you. For a male, I'm pretty decent at it.
I had 2 students I've been teaching for 18 years, and the only 2 students who have ever beat me, they were high school students, and they could type. I could not. My deal is, if you can beat me, then I'm going to give you a candy bar, buy you a candy bar. And I could not. They were 122 words a minute.
No.
And I could not. Now, I could get close to 100, and sometimes I could even peak 100, but I could not do 100.
And I'm a lot worse now that I text all the time.
Oh, and that's the thing. I'm a lot worse. I don't practice.
Now.
If I sat there and practiced, I still practice a little bit with the kids, and they're like, how do you do that? Because they tell me they can't. I'm like, yes, you can. So... Well, good. All right. So you were a typing teacher, and you did English. What else? I
did PE. I've taught a little bit of everything. I taught grad remediation for a while. I used to tell them I've done everything in the school except be the official janitor. Now I've swept and mopped and done all those type of things.
Sure.
But I also coached football all the way up until a year ago. So I did that. That was a big part of my life for a long time.
Where'd you coach?
I coached at North Jackson for 12 years. I coached at Fort Payne, Plainview, Pisgah.
Wow.
And that's it.
Did you?
Tallahassee in South Alabama. The first 2 years I was in South Alabama, so I taught at a little town or a place outside Montgomery.
Did you teach? When you went to college, did you play football?
No, I did not.
Okay, so where's the football? Just that you like football?
I grew up in high school. Yeah,
Oh.
I played every sport they offered at Susan Moore. So I enjoyed sports. Sports is a big part of my family's life. I have 2 sisters who got on me harder than any coach ever did.
Really?
So, yeah, it's pretty embarrassing actually. But
about you not playing good, or
everything.
So are they into sports?
They were worse than any dad ever. Yes, they're
really?
both big into sports. Mom, brother-in-law.
I was not big into. I was big into my sports, but I'm not big into like the whole football. Of course, I'm not from the South where the SEC is.
Yes.
I'm up from closer to the north. So
it's a religion where
it is. Raised, when I first moved down here, I went to Walmart, and the first thing I saw was it was during regular football season, and it wasn't the Atlanta Falcons or the Tennessee Titans.
No.
It was college stuff, UT, and I was like, what is the deal? Where's all their... Of course, I had no clue. That was weird, too. No clue, so it's a big deal. All right, and then, so that's good. It sounds like you've just done a little bit of everything. Now, this is your first year as a principal.
Yes.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's good. And we can already tell you love it.
Oh, yeah. Every day.
Which is great. And then you said you had a daughter.
I do.
She go to this school?
She's too old to go to Rosalie. She goes to Pisgah. She's
Okay,
a
she's
freshman
high
at
school.
Pisgah.
Oh, freshman. Good job. Okay, and then you were assistant principal.
I've been assistant principal at North Jackson for 5 years, and then last year I was the assistant principal at Woodville.
Okay.
So one end of the valley, the other end of the valley. Now I'm on Sand Mountain. So
There you go.
been a little bit everywhere. I can't go to Walmart anywhere. That's what I tell everybody.
Yeah, because everybody knows you.
Everybody knows me.
That's a good thing. I mean, you can always tell a good teacher or educator when everybody's like, hi,
Yes.
hi. Otherwise, they're like, okay, my parents are with me. I don't want to talk to you. So, well, good. Well, we're going to come back. We're going to take a break.
Okay.
And we're going to come back and we're going to finish talking about everything you guys got going on. All right, we'll be right back.
Innovation and quality. Two things you don't normally hear about in a recruitment ad, but you'll hear a lot about innovation and quality when you join the team at Vanguard National Trailer. Vanguard is an industry leader in the production of dry van trailers and composite plate trailers.
And right now, Vanguard National Trailer is hiring energetic and hardworking team members to be assemblers and welders, as well as industrial maintenance for first shift openings.
And you'll work a full 40-hour week in 4 days, which means 3-day weekends. And overtime is available. Working at Vanguard National Trailer has other great benefits too, like paid holidays, paid vacation, medical, dental, vision, and life insurance, plus a 401k plan.
Full-time work, 3-day weekends, available overtime, and great benefits. That's Vanguard National Trailer.
Fill out your application today. Vanguard National Trailer is an equal opportunity employer.
Apply in person today. Starting pay $10 to $14 an hour, depending on position. Vanguard National Trailer Corporation, Highway 11 North, turn beside the Primary Healthcare Center on Vanguard Drive.
Tennessee Valley Net, your local provider of fiber optic high-speed internet, TV with over 200 digital channels available, and phone service with lots of extras. Fiber optics from TVN is expanding to many areas. Call and see if TVN is available in your area. 706-657-4367 or log on at tvn.net today. Bundle and save on fiber optic high-speed internet, digital TV, and phone service. All from Tennessee Valley Net. 706-657-4367. Online at tvn.net.
Methamphetamine affects everyone, your neighbors, your friends, and even your family.
Know the signs.
Physical symptoms include you may have extreme difficulty sleeping and even insomnia, and you may lose your appetite.
Know the signs. Please know the signs.
You can seem nervous and anxious and even have paranoia.
Know the signs.
Overheat easily and sweat without even being hot.
Know the signs.
Dilated pupils and even hair loss.
Know the signs.
Hallucinations and delusions. And you can also have tachycardia, which is a rapid heart rate.
Know the signs.
You may have liver damage and loss of skin elasticity.
Know the signs.
You may notice unexplained financial instability and social isolation.
Know the signs.
You may have a false sense of euphoria, coupled with a strong depression and even risky behavior, legal trouble, memory loss, and repeated incarceration.
Please know the signs. Unfortunately, we do.
A time-tested financial institution equipped with the latest banking technology, the Bank of Dade, with mobile banking to fit your on-the-go lifestyle. Download our latest app today for your iPhone, Android, or tablet to bank on the go. Check your balance, pay bills, make deposits, and keep track of your account anytime and anywhere with the Bank of Dade's smartphone app. Make life easier by using today's most advanced banking technology to your advantage. Call us at 657-6842 or visit on the web at bankofdade.com. Your hometown bank since 1956, the Bank of Dade. Main office is on Highway 11 North in Trenton, and drive-thrus on Highway 11 North and Highway 136 West. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Gross Furniture in Trenton, Georgia, you get the savings, the selection, and the satisfaction of getting the furniture you deserve at the prices you want. Come in, relax, and take your time. Our staff can assist you with the entire process, from expert advice to professional delivery. That's because Gross Furniture is local and treats you with honesty. Just north of the Courthouse Square on Highway 11 in Trenton. Gross Furniture, the home furnishing store that offers you more.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and if you're just now joining us, we are here with the Rosalie School. It's been dubbed by the principal, Mr. Doug Haynes, and we're glad you're here. So we've been talking about all the cool things that Rosalie has going on, and so far we've come up with your K through 8, but that's why you call it the Rosalie School, because you're really not elementary and you're really not middle school. You're kind of like a mix. You have about 20 staff members. Your favorite thing about it is that you're a close-knit family, small, not only with the staff, the students, but also with the actual parents, which is good, because some of the bigger schools, like if you go to a big city, you know, teachers are kind of afraid of those parents, you know, and here in a smaller one, the parents, at least that's what I've noticed going from a city to a county school, is that they're there to really support you and help you, and they want to show this great school.
Right, and a lot of times parents, especially nowadays, you see a lot of parents that are in retaliation against what we're trying to do, you know, whether it be discipline, whether it be academic. We're still at Rosalie small enough that we don't worry about that a lot. The parents are on our side. If we tell the parent your child is struggling academically, here's what we need to do to help them, 99% of the time they are on board. They agree with us. They'll do whatever they can to help us, and
That's cool.
and it's awesome to get that kind of support. And it makes turning the kids around a lot easier.
Well, and it makes those relationships with the kids better, and I think it makes them better high schoolers.
Yes.
And then it makes them strive to do better. I mean, I have students who want to do their best because they like my class and want to come to my class, you know, and that makes them, when they get to high school, even, you know, I guess latch on to another teacher.
And
or
that's
whatever.
one thing. Our attendance, you know, we have policies where.
Oh yeah, we have the attendance, the attendance police here today too.
She'll be able to expound on this later, but we have a policy where after 3 unexcused absences, our attendance officer has to come in and meet with them. And I've been at schools where the first 2 weeks of school, I've had to have her come in and meet with kids. But I think our kids generally enjoy coming to school every day. And I pull a report, and I don't have anybody that's even close to being on that,
List?
those three unexcused absences. So that's something that shows they like coming to school. They enjoy their classes. They enjoy their classmates. They feel safe. And it makes things. Of course, you can't learn if you're not there. And I was a big attendant. I'm a big attendance guy. Be in school, all those type of things, because it translates into later on. If you're used to getting up and coming to school, you'll be used to getting up and going to work.
And you're right.
Or college or whatever, the military or whatever you decide to do. But it's made it very easy for me, and it was actually a big shock when I got there. And I pulled that report the first time. There's no names on it, and I checked it 3 or 4 times and made sure we were doing it right. But we just have kids that genuinely enjoy coming to school, and their parents are there to get them there and make them come, and that makes things a lot easier.
That is good. That's good. And you're right. It really does filter into the real world, because you can't be late for work, you can't miss work, or at least not keep the job for very long.
And a lot of people now, they talk about, you see a lot of homeschooling and alternative schooling is a big term now. They'll never take the place of making a kid keep a schedule, because at some point in your life you're going to have to keep a schedule. Even people that work at home have to keep some kind of schedule. And everybody's got to get up on days they don't want to get up on, and they've got to go to work on days they don't want to go to work, and maybe they got a headache or the sniffles, and that traditional schooling is always going to be there to teach those lessons.
I agree. That's good. Okay, so let's talk about sports. So the only sport you have that's full-time there is basketball. But like basketball season's just around the corner.
Right. We've already started practicing. Actually, middle school basketball in Alabama starts really early. So September 17th we began practice. We have a game, I think, in a couple of weeks. It's October the 17th, 18th. I think that's 2 weeks, so over 2 weeks away. We have boys and girls basketball. We have,
and the grades you said are 7th and 8th?
7th and 8th.
Okay,
right. In Alabama, you start playing school sports in the 7th grade. Can't start any earlier.
Okay.
And so we have a basketball team, but we also have several kids that are involved with the football program at Pisgah. Since it's football season, they go to Pisgah, because we don't offer a team. They go to Pisgah and play football. And we have several kids that are playing junior high football. They're playing a game tonight against North Central Mountain, so good luck, guys. And but we have basketball that'll start up. That started up, and we'll start playing games before long. And we have a lot of kids involved in that. It's actually, I'm pretty pleased with the number of kids participating. We want everybody to do as much as they want to do at at Rosalie. If that means going to Pisgah to play or staying with us, we want them to be involved, because if the only kids you generally have issues with are kids that are not involved in anything.
You're right.
So we think we have a chance to have a really good program this year. And then obviously after basketball's over with, we actually have, I forgot to mention Jake Smith running cross country. We have one that runs cross country for Pisgah, and we'll have several that'll run track when track season gets there, and we'll probably have some kids play baseball too at Pisgah.
Wow, that's good. That's good, because they need a lot of choices, I think.
Yes, yeah, the more the merrier.
Because goodness knows, if somebody put me behind a softball, I would not hit it. Cannot hit it. It's horrible. And you have two coaches. One's a male and one's a female for the basketball.
Right.
But they coach both
they
together.
They coach them together, right.
Okay, that's cool. All right, good. All right, so we're going to talk about clubs. You have plenty of clubs.
We do have
for a small
there.
school,
Yes.
generally consider you're K through 8, you're still kind of a smaller school.
Yes.
And you have, tell me if I miss anything, you got a junior Civitan club, a beta club, and then you also have, was that it?
That's it.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, the things the junior Civitan is doing, there's 6 things on my paper. So let's start with the first thing, if I remember right, is you got a canned food drive coming up they do for Thanksgiving.
We do. They're going to raise. We have canned food drive, and most schools in our county do some sort of canned food drive. And what we do is we try to get that and spearhead it towards Thanksgiving. So they'll head that up, and we're thinking about maybe getting a little competition together with another school and seeing who can raise the most.
Competition always works.
I like to compete for things, and
yeah, me
I think
too.
those are good life lessons, but it just makes it a little more fun. So I mentioned it to our junior Civitan leader today, and she was on board. So we'll probably try to find somebody that's comparable to our size, and we'll see who can raise the most.
That's good. And then, so do you have any business classes there? At all?
We do not. We offer computer. We do offer computer classes.
Okay, so in the computer class, then the teacher who's teaching Excel can have the kids keep an Excel spreadsheet about your. So I'm a business teacher, sorry,
Right.
but that was the first thing I thought.
I'm gonna tell them it was your idea.
Did you tell them? That was the first thing I'm thinking. Oh, they can keep track of what teacher has brought cans and boxes,
Exactly,
and
right.
then you've got all this. So, sorry. Okay, and then that's good. That's really good. So it just doesn't have to be cans. I'm guessing it could be boxes of mashed potatoes.
Most of the time it's cans.
It really is cans?
And I think
is that
that's
what you really just want?
Yeah, I think it's
Just cans,
it's cans
okay.
because it's non-perishable, and that's kind of what everybody.
Right.
They don't have to worry about it busting or rats getting into it or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. And then they've also got a Veterans Day program coming up.
We do November.
Which isn't it? Can you believe it's already November?
Yes.
It just goes so fast. Okay.
November the 7th at 9 a.m. we'll have our Veterans Day program, and on our Facebook page. We have a Twitter and a Facebook page.
Okay. Tell everybody what it is.
Our Twitter is therosalie.com, and our Facebook page is just Rosalie School. And we post information almost daily, but surely anytime we have anything important pop up. So there's information on our Veterans Day program about contacting Miss Shantae Starkey, who's our junior Civitan leader.
Okay.
To get your information in on Veterans Day.
What does she teach?
She's our special ed teacher.
Oh, cool. That's cool. Okay, and then so a Veterans Day. What do you do at Veterans Day? On your program, do you?
That's going to be a good question. This is my first one. This is my first trip through with the Veterans Day program. So I'm not sure exactly what they've got in mind. They've been doing it for
years?
Several years. So that's one of those where I kind of come in and I go, hey, thumbs up, y'all keep it rolling.
Keep it going.
Yeah, just kind of keep me in the loop on what we're doing. So
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be a slideshow because I just ordered a big projector screen for them to use. So I know there'll be some sort of pictures going on.
Right.
That's really about all I know right now.
Okay, well that's good. Okay, and then they're gonna have a cancer, they're gonna make cancer care kits for people or kids who might have cancer.
Right. October is Cancer Awareness Month, and most people know you have a lot of breast cancer awareness. And
Yeah, breast cancer, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, and we go a little bit different direction because, little kids, you don't really want to talk about that. You think about mom and all those type of things.
Right.
So we concentrate on young children, and we have kits we're going to send them. We write notes and letters to put in their kits, notes of encouragement, letters of encouragement. We also include some items, maybe a toboggan or some socks or something like that.
So where does the money? Do you guys have a fundraiser to earn that money?
No, this is donations.
Okay.
To put in a box and to send off.
So do you just ask community leaders or do you ask parents?
Yes, all of the above.
Okay, so guys, if you're watching the show, they need donations. I'm assuming they can donate the actual items or donate money?
Yes.
Okay, so call the school and donate money so those poor little kids who have cancer can have really cool goodies, like maybe a stuffed animal on top of it.
Exactly.
That'll be perfect. So call the school and they can, who's the secretary that answers?
Her name is Christy Higdon.
Okay, so Christy Higdon, and you can just call and she'll tell you what you need to do and how to get your money, your donations, and businesses, it's a tax write-off. So there's no reason you shouldn't donate. So, okay, and that's really cool because I think I could just imagine the joy of that kid who sees that little care kit. I mean, that would just be super cool. All right, and then the next thing that you have is a beta club.
Yes.
Okay, and Beta Club is a little different because it's based on grade. Well, you said the Civitan is also based on character.
They have to. Civitan is open to most anybody, but they sign pledges, and obviously you have to keep good grades. You have to stay out of trouble and all those type of things. And if you can do that, you can stay in Civitan. And Civitan is one of those deals where it's good for the community. It's good for everybody because it's a civic organization.
Right.
But when they get into high school, what you look at on Junior Civitan is you start applying for scholarships. You start doing things of that nature. It's just, I mean, that's one of those clubs that's outstanding that a lot of colleges look for. So even though it was 6th, 7th, 8th grade at Rosalie, we're still kind of eyeing towards what we're going to do because the end goal is to get them, educated out, get them in a well-paying job so they can pay taxes and help take care of me when I get older, I guess.
There you go. That's good. All right, and so then the Beta Club though is basically all that, but they also have to have like verified grades.
Yes. Beta Club has a certain GPA they have to achieve. Beta Club is part of a national organization, so there's charter rules that they go by, and there's certain things that they have to meet to be a part of that national charter. But Beta Club's another thing. If you're a Beta Club member, it's fantastic as far as those college applications later on. But Beta Club they do a Beta Club trip in the spring of the year where they go to a state convention, and they compete against other schools. They do just about any kind of talent you can imagine, whether it be singing, dancing, acting. They have group talents. They have speeches they give.
Is your educational like math tests? And
yes,
stuff?
they have just writing essay. They have
Right.
every kind of category you can imagine. So your kids get a chance to go compete against other kids. And it's a really fun thing. I mean, people really enjoy.
It is a big deal.
Yeah, that's something that everybody looks forward to. It's kind of like strawberry on top of the cake
because a lot of the middle schools now have a junior beta, or and then the high schools almost all of them have a beta.
And that's what
club.
it is. The high schools, they'll go to their own beta convention, but we go to the middle school.
Middle school one. Okay, awesome. Well, you guys have a lot going on, especially for a smaller school. Do you have to go to all of these events as the principal?
I do.
Yeah, you're pretty busy then.
Yeah, that's it.
Almost every night, I would guess you're doing something.
It's a lot. It can be a lot at sometimes, but.
Do you have an assistant principal this
I do not.
Wow, you don't even know what to say. You're it.
Yeah, in a smaller school, we don't have an assistant principal. It's just me.
Okay. Well, we're gonna take another break. Now, I think when we come back, we're gonna take a break from talking to you, and we're gonna talk to the I call
resource officer.
I called her the police, but yeah.
She does have a badge.
Oh, she does?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Maybe she'll have it with us and she can show us. But anyways, we're going to talk to her about attendance and safety and super important things, and then we'll come back and we'll talk to you when we're done.
Okay.
We'll wrap it up. Okay, we'll be right back.
Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. At 402 North Cedar Avenue in South Pittsburgh, 4765 Main Street in Jasper, and at 14087 Highway 28 in Whitwell, providing the highest standard of customer services with a personal touch. Our associates can help you with personal loans, personal lines of credit, a variety of mortgage loans, and more. And we offer real-time internet banking too. See us in South Pittsburgh, Jasper, and Whitwell today. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank Marion Countyans will ever need. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. The Moore family name has built a legacy of trust, compassion, and peace of mind by standing with families during time of loss. Now in our 70th year, the Moore family commitment grows even stronger, from affordable, traditional services to cremation. Our experienced staff stands ready to follow through on you and your family's wishes. Since 1945, the Moore family of funeral homes, North Sand Mountain and Trenton, always dedicated to those we serve. When you or a loved one is facing a life-limiting illness, hospice care may be the answer. At Tapestry Hospice, the patient is the focus of our care. We're here to serve you and facilitate your wishes. Tapestry caregivers are concerned with managing your pain, keeping you in touch with your physician, and helping you make plans for the future. Hospice is life-affirming, and Tapestry Hospice can help you deal with all aspects of life, mind, body, and soul. Call Tapestry Hospice for more information. 706-383-8812. That's 706-383-8812. Tapestry Hospice. Redefining hope. When you need a licensed plumber, call Stacy Ledwell and the staff at Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Mr. Rooter provides your home or business with advanced solutions using high-tech equipment. Our commitment to customer satisfaction shines through in our personalized service. When you schedule an appointment, our professionals will dedicate time to explain the work that has to be done. Our staff will give you upfront pricing, so you'll know exactly what's involved before any work begins. We even pump septic tanks and do new construction on houses. Fully licensed, bonded, and insured, Mr. Rooter in Scottsboro. Call Stacy Ledwell today to set up an appointment at 256-574-4710. Folks around these parts have put their trust in the Ponder name for filling their prescriptions for decades. Jennifer Ponder Hicks, Doctor of Pharmacy, continues the tradition of fast, friendly, and personal service at Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy. Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy is convenient to our customers between Dobbins and North Sand Mountain School, next to Northeast Alabama Health Services. Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy gladly accepts most insurance plans, including Alabama Medicaid. When the need arises, have your doctor phone Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy at 597-4020. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, Ponder's Mountain Pharmacy. Rising Fawn Hardware is your place for all your gardening needs. Seeds, onion sets, cabbage, strawberry plants, and more. A complete line of home hardware items, too. Everything for the house, including plumbing, hardware, and metal roofs. Plus, Rising Fawn Hardware has everything you need for your livestock, including name brands like Nutria, Tucker, and Faithway. Always with a hometown atmosphere, it's Rising Fawn Hardware. 4300 Highway 11 South in Rising Fawn. Open 8 in the morning till 6 at night, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 8 to noon on Wednesday. Even open on Saturday from 8 until 4. Rising Fawn Hardware.
Looking for a great way to change your look? You'll find the friendly professionals at A Classy Cut Salon ready to care for you. A Classy Cut Salon is in the Grove Shopping Center next to the Dollar General. We serve men and women of all ages at A Classy Cut Salon. Call 657-5607. That's 657-5607 for an appointment, or just walk right in for your next classy cut from A Classy Cut Salon in the Grove Shopping Center, Highway 11 North in Trenton.
All right, welcome back to This Week in Jackson County Schools. I'm Pamela Stone, and if you're just now joining us, we've been talking to the Rosalie School. It is a K through 8th, and it has about 180 students. It does go from kindergarten through 8th grade. We've been talking to the principal, Mr. Doug Haynes, and he is the first-year principal, but they got a lot of stuff going on, so good job. By the way, I need to mention a couple things. They're going to do baskets for kids that have cancer. During October. They need donations of money and donations of items for these baskets, so especially those businesses out there, business owners, anybody who can help, please call the school and let's get that going and keep involved. Next to me I have Miss Rhonda Wheeler. Welcome.
Thank you.
She is the Director of Student Services at the school, and so she's basically in charge of a very long list of stuff, but the two most important is attendance and safety.
It's true.
I'm sure, and she said textbooks and some other things, but I'm sure nobody really, you probably don't want to see the textbooks at the end of the year. I'm sure they line the walls.
It's true.
I don't think anybody knows what it's like when you collect all the textbooks and put them in a corner, how big that corner is, right?
It's true.
It's bigger than a corner. Okay, and you have been doing education for 31 years.
I have.
You're past retirement, in case you didn't know that.
I am.
Yes. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a good thing. So tell us about your background. Where for 31 years, what have you been doing?
Well, I started at Bryant, an elementary teacher there, and I got to go home to Pisgah to be an elementary teacher, and worked in the classroom there until my 15th year, and then I was asked to be a part of the administration team. I became assistant principal and was there 7 years, and it was special being at home and working with families that were my neighbors. And
that's cool.
And then I actually left there to come to Rosalie to be the principal there. I was in the principalship there 5 years, and that was coming home again because I had been a Rosalie student. The K-8 school that you're here, I was there 5 years.
That's cool.
And
you were the principal of
I was
it.
there as the principal at Rosalie, so I
Very
enjoy
cool.
hearing Doug tell all the wonderful things going on at my school there.
And you concur,
It's home.
everything's
Oh,
definitely
absolutely.
like that.
Oh,
It's
he's
family, close-knit.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And he nailed it. And
Good job, Doug. You didn't tell any stories.
And what he was telling here, and it is a wonderful school.
Good.
And so I spent 5 years there before going back to Pisgah to be the principal there. So I went home 3 times: Pisgah, Rosalie, back to Pisgah. It was wonderful to be right there in my own community, and I enjoyed the fall that I spent there. But then I applied for the job at the central office and was fortunate enough to be chosen to do the very important job that I do. And I think that's the reason I'm still at 31 years excited every day, because I think there's so much of a difference that can be made from the position that I have, and it takes a lot of energy and a lot of excitement, and I'm excited every day to get to go to work at 31 years.
That is pretty cool.
It is very cool.
That is cool.
So
that is good. I mean, being an educator, especially principal, that's a lot of. I mean,
It's a lot of work.
not that teachers not a lot of work, because it is, but you guys always have that one. Then you're dealing with the adults on top of it, and that can be.
The kids are the easy things.
Yeah, sure.
The easy thing to deal with. The adults in the building, whether that be the teachers, the parents, those are the more difficult. But the most important part of school culture is how good are those relationships with the adults in the building. If the relationship between the adults are good, you have a good school culture.
Well, and I think that's really, even for like teachers, for me, I'm thinking the best thing that I can do is have a relationship with my students. And if I have good relationships, then they'll behave better,
Yes.
I mean, just the whole spectrum of stuff just makes it better. So
That's true.
It is good. Okay, so let's talk about attendance first. So I'm just going to tell you, from my 18 years of teaching, attendance is so crazy important. When you don't have students in there, they miss work. They can't make, like for my class, which is business and computer science, if they miss it, it is super difficult because they're not there. They may not have a computer at home. They can't make it up at home. They weren't there to show them how to click the buttons and what to push. I'm guessing it's the same way.
Sure.
Yeah.
It is. And what a lot of parents don't realize is how often their children miss. And I know that sounds crazy, but at the end of the year, if you sit down and you meet with a parent and go, look, they missed 12 days or 15 days. And that has become a term in Alabama that we use now called chronic absenteeism. Whether they're absent by excused absence or unexcused, they're still absent. And so we have
Right.
turned that
That's the
conversation
truth.
into lost instructional hours. Not necessarily, did you have a note? It doesn't matter if they have a note. That's lost instructional hours.
It is.
So those are the things that we have started talking about in Alabama in terms of chronic absenteeism. But what a lot of parents don't realize, that with their children, that absenteeism and truancy is a predictor of future success. And what I mean by that is attendance is 8 times more predictive of future success than prior test scores. If you want me to tell you about your kids, I don't want to know about their former test scores. I want to know if they've come to school or not. Because if a child's coming to school, they have a chance of graduating. And a kindergartner that misses a lot, it's going to hurt their 3rd grade test scores. A 3rd grader that misses a lot, it's going to hurt their chances of being successful in junior high school. A 9th grader that misses a lot of days are going to have a chance. They're not going to graduate on time. So attendance it's predictors. So we do talk about, and we try to make attendance visual in our schools. In other words, that's
So how
something.
do you do that?
Well, that's something that we're working on, and that's
Okay.
something that we've not figured out all of that, but we have.
How many years have you been in this job? Is this your first year?
No,
Okay.
I've been in the spring of 16.
Okay, so a couple of years.
A couple of years in my job.
All right, go on.
But we try to make attendance visual. In other words, we try to recognize through the different programs we have in our school. It's something that we talk about. Attendance has to be a conversation that we have.
It does.
And then we've had some schools do some really neat things about, they're posting on Twitter, hey, we had 100% attendance today. That makes it visual.
Right.
We have 97% at school today. We only had 3 kids absent yesterday. And those are things that we're writing in our schools and they were posted in our schools, so it's becoming visual. When it becomes visual, it becomes that point of conversation that's being talked about. And when it's being talked about, we're going to do a better job of making sure our kids are in school.
Do you have anything where if they have a perfect attendance or 90% attendance rate, that they get a reward? Or
Every school is different.
Okay.
Every school has
How many
a different...
schools do you cover from the central office? Every school? And there's 20?
16.
There's 16. Okay. I thought there was about 20.
So we're going to cover that many, and every school does it differently, and we give them the opportunity to do that. Sure.
Okay.
Because every school is different. Where you take Doug's K-8 school and then you take North Jackson's 9-12 school, it's two different worlds.
Well, and there's probably 2 different or more than 2 different reasons. I mean, high schoolers have a different reason than like I have a student who's coming late a couple days, and yesterday he was late again, and he was like, it's not my fault, it's my siblings' faults. Meaning, I guess they wouldn't get up, get moving, or whatever. So, I guess in the reality, it's really the parents, because
that's true.
The parents needed to get them there on time. But yeah, I was guilty once. My son was late, and it was really my fault because I knew I was the one driving him. So I went to school and I begged the teacher or whoever it was, give me the detention because I knew he was going to get it. I was like, it's my fault. Don't give it. I will literally come and sit there, and I will do it because totally it wasn't that my kid was he was on time. I literally was just running late. Sure. I felt so bad.
Yeah, it's usually the parents' fault, especially with elementary. Now we do have high schoolers that drive.
That's a different story.
So that is a different story.
Right, I agree.
But for elementary students, it's going to be, that's the reason when we go to court we take parents most of the time.
Right, that makes sense. All right, so what are some of the things you're trying to do for attendance besides making it visual?
So the main thing we've done in the last few years is we wrote a grant within Jackson County last year, and we have a social worker now that works in our school. And what we have found is we don't have a lot of children that just don't come to school. We have a lot of children with barriers to get to school. So our social worker is going in and she's going into our homes, and we're looking at our children that are absent for 5 or 6 days, and we go, what's wrong? Something's wrong if a child is missing. So our social worker goes into the homes, and we have uncovered a tremendous amount of very sad things. We have uncovered a lot of abuse. We have uncovered a lot of sexual abuse, and those things have been found mainly through attendance issues. So our social worker has become such an important part of our school system, and when she first came, I was going to make her a schedule to go from one school to the other school to the other school weekly, and that has not happened yet. She is absolutely working on call. Whoever calls her gets her, and she leaves one school for an emergency and may go to another school, and she is absolutely worn out and staying busy, and it's great that we have that for our children.
Have you noticed that it makes a difference?
It makes a total difference in our homes. Now, have we ran attendance numbers? We're getting kids to school now because we're taking children out of homes and putting them in other homes, or we're taking perpetrators out of homes and putting in other places. So It's going to make a difference. Now, it may not be on a spreadsheet that we can say the difference, but is she making a difference? You ask any principal or any teacher in Jackson County, is she making a difference?
I'm sure you could ask some of the kids too.
Absolutely.
And some of those kids that are being pulled out, or at first it might not seem that way, but in the end they're going to be thankful.
Absolutely. So we've been blessed. We not only have our social worker now, but we've also written another grant that's going to give us now 2 mental health workers, 2 therapists that can come in with our children with those needs that we're uncovering, and it's going to be they're going to be with us for 5 years in our school system. So a lot of people that we contract with, they have a huge turnover of therapists. Well, we're hopefully going to find 2 therapists. They're going to be with Jackson County Schools for the next 5 years. So those children are going to get some stable mental advice.
And they'll know the same person every time, and they can build that relationship.
And again, this is through the world of attendance. because this is where we're finding our kids. Because kids that don't come to school, usually there's an issue in the home. Now, there are going to be children that are out for doctors or dentists. Those are excused absences.
Right.
But when we have children, that if we have this is what I say, if we have a student in Jackson County Schools that's been missing 5 days from our schools and no one's called home, we have a problem.
Right.
So we're going to find out where are our babies, where are our children, where are our teenagers, and why are they not in school? So that's the way we approach it in Jackson County, because and I tell our people this, it's not about just being data-driven anymore, it's about being student-driven. Our students
That's
drive
so
our
important.
decisions. And taking care of our kids, and in essence, this is going to, it's going to have ramifications for our academics, because if we're staying there and we're solving these problems,
Right.
our academics are going to get better.
But let's just think about this. It's so, yeah, it may be data for us and it may be academics, but what about that life-changing thing for the student?
Yes.
I mean, that's forever.
It's one of the most important things.
And you can't
that we're
take
doing
that
in
away,
Jackson
or
County.
So you're right. I mean, in the long run, it's great for the student. And I would assume in the next 5 years you would be able to see different numbers if you ran the numbers.
We're hoping to.
Not that it's about numbers, but I mean, it is. I mean, it started about numbers. And if it wasn't about the numbers, you wouldn't have gotten to this point.
True.
So it is good that it's about numbers.
True.
So, well, I wish you the best of luck in that
Thank
part.
you.
I know that's quite a challenge.
It is. But
It's a lot of court time.
It is.
So, all right. So the last thing we're going to talk about for you is safety. So what do you do for safety?
Well, I mean, school safety is,
Especially
again,
with all the stuff going on, it's a big deal.
And actually, our social worker works in part of that as well, because if we can find, and here's our theory in Jackson County: if you see something, say something. Most of the time, when we talk with school safety, we're talking. We're going to talk about storms and fire drills, and that's not the thing that's on people's mind anymore.
No.
It's on school shooters.
Yeah.
So when we talk school safety, your parents aren't worried about if we're going to get out of the building after a fire. We're going to do those things. If it's a storm now, our weather is so predictive. We can be home and not even in our school building during a tornado threat. So when we speak of school safety, we're speaking specifically of protecting our children from anyone causing
From
them harm.
intruders, right.
So, and most of the time, a lot of that comes from within. Again, our social worker, helping to get those kids that are have those issues, and we're working
Right.
through those. So, but we do say in Jackson County, if you see something, say something, and we are looking at things to make our buildings safer. But in Jackson County, much like in school systems across our country, our schools were not designed to be fortresses. They were designed to be happy places where parents can come and go.
Right.
And now we're taking buildings that were built 50, 60 years ago,
yeah.
and we're trying to make them fortresses, and that's a challenge.
That is a challenge.
That we have. So we're putting more, we're looking at things to put a lock in every classroom. We're making our schools more safer through actions like that. But what we're doing, the biggest thing that makes our schools safe is our teachers.
Right.
Because you've never seen any school shooting where teachers ran the other way.
Oh, no.
Teachers are going to protect their children. They're going to stand between an intruder and their children. So what makes our schools in Jackson County and across our country safer? It's our teachers. Our teachers. They're so protective of their children.
Oh, yeah.
And teachers have such a protective instinct.
We just had a lockdown drill and a intruder alert drill, and the kids. I have a closet. I'm one of the lucky ones. I have a big closet in my room, and so that we go to the closet, shut the door, and technically nobody be able to get in. And the kids are like, I was still out in the hallway checking off the email or whatever, saying, yeah, we're safe. And they're like, but what about you? What would happen to you? And I'm like, but I'm here to protect you. So it is a big deal. I mean, that's what it really is about. And I think in the long run, even just making everybody aware that, okay, now we have to pay attention to this, makes the kids more aware, makes, and it is sad compared to, 20, 30 years ago, but it is necessary now.
Right.
Which is true.
And the other thing that we're doing in Jackson County, and our superintendent, Kevin Dukes, is making sure that we are hiring as many school resource officers. We've started with one, now we have two, and hopefully by the end of the school year we'll have 4. And the more school resource officers we get on our campuses, the safer our schools are going to be. So he is working with other departments. Mr. Guffey in Federal Programs is trying to help with funds, and we're trying to make sure that we have as many school resource officers. And so that, because Jackson County is a very, very large county.
It is.
In terms of mileage.
I was going to say, yeah, land mass is obviously much bigger than the 16 schools there are, but the land mass is pretty huge. Well, Miss Wheeler, I appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
What you're doing is super important.
Thank you.
So just keep going, and I hope you enjoy maybe not another 31 years, but
I know.
a
few more.
Many more years to come.
A few more.
All right, thanks. We'll be right back.
Dobbins Supermarket, serving the community for over 70 years with fresh cut meats and a full line of grocery items. Dobbins Supermarket, Highway 71 in Higdon.
This week at Dobbins Supermarket, beef chuck roast, $3.49 a pound. Fresh boneless chicken tenders, $2.49 a pound. 12-ounce pack of Bryan bacon, only $2.99. 4-pack of corn dogs, only 99 cents. 5-pound bag of crinkle cut French fries, only $3.99. Breaded chicken fingers, 5-pound bag, only $9.99. And Bryan smoked sausage, 2 14-ounce packs, only $5. All this and more this week at Dobbins Supermarket, Higdon. Don't miss the excitement of the 63rd Annual DeKalb County VFW Agricultural Fair, happening September the 24th through September the 29th. Gates open at 5 o'clock every evening and at 10 a.m. Saturday morning. Come see us. Gates admission is only $4. Ride tickets start at just $1.25 for the midway, or you can save by buying them in bulk. It's on the fairgrounds in downtown Fort Payne. Wednesday is Dollar Night. All rides $1. Come on and have fun. And Wednesday night is Veterans Night. Vietnam veterans are admitted free with proof of service. Make your plans to visit the DeKalb County VFW Agricultural Fair. Once again, September the 24th through the 29th. Come to the 63rd Annual Fair.
At Mountain View Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, we're not 9 to 5. We're stay till it's done. And we know working hard to be the best is never easy. That's why we believe you have to work hard and play harder. Get up to 25% off on the 2018 Ram 1500 during Ram Power Days. 109 in stock. So, come shop Mountain View Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at our new location on Alabama Highway. Number 1 for a reason.
Stevenson Utilities, serving our customers with water, sewer, and natural gas services. Find out today if all of our services are available in your area. Contact us anytime at stevensonutilities.net or call 437-0277 or see us on Highway 72 at Stevenson Utilities. Stevenson Utilities. And don't forget, you can pay online at stevensonutilities.net.
Hello, this is Sheriff Ronnie Bo Burnett from Marion County Sheriff Department. If you have a drug problem, please seek help. Our hospitals and jails are overcrowded now due to the drug problem in our society. There's people out there that can help. So again, I would encourage you, if you have a drug problem, please seek help. There's many organizations can help you. Thank you. Have a good day.
The Marion County Sheriff's Department and Sheriff Bo Barnett work hard every day to relieve the Valley and Marion County of drugs. You do your part. If you or someone in your family is struggling with drug addiction, get help today. A message from the Marion County Sheriff's Department.
All right, welcome back to Jackson County Schools. If you're just now joining us, I'm Pamela Stone, and we are here today with the Rosalie School. It was coined the Rosalie School by Mr. Doug Haynes. You know I'm going to make you famous for that.
I noticed it's been repeated several times.
No, well, you have to repeat something 7 times or something before it's remembered.
That's okay.
So that's okay. But I like it. It's a good idea because then there's an identity to the school, not, okay, are you elementary or are you middle school? It really is an identity that you're the Rosalie School. So it doesn't matter what you are. You're just the Rosalie School. What's the high school? It's either the high school that you guys filter into is North Sand Mountain?
No,
we're Pisgah?
We're just Pisgah.
Okay,
right.
you're just Pisgah.
Just to Pisgah.
Okay, and you guys do K through 8th. You have about 180 students and you have about 20 staff members. And you know, from everything we've talked about, you guys just have this really great close-knit family, not only with your staff, your students, the parents, the community, everybody. So.
Yes.
You have an easy job being a first-year principal.
Don't tell anybody that. It's tough.
No, it's still hard, but I mean, it makes it a lot easier when you got a community and everybody behind you.
I think I was thinking about this earlier. I think by probably 8 o'clock in the morning, I've high-fived or fist bumped every kid and most of the teachers in the building. So, being able to do that makes things a lot easier.
So you'll still be working at 40.
Yes.
She was working 31 years. Okay, so we have 2 things we're going to talk about real quick in the little bit of time we have. Algebra 1, you guys are going to start, this year you're doing an algebra exploration class twice a week. And you're teaching 8th graders algebra.
Yes.
And in hopes that next year you can actually have at least one Algebra 1 class that they're taking in 8th grade that's a high school credit.
Right. It won't be a high school credit per se because you don't get credits until you start. I take that back. It will be a high school credit. What we've done is Pisgah's begun offering Algebra 1 credits, Algebra 1 in the 8th grade. Several schools around the state are offering sort of that kind of math, and we always want to be, if not at the forefront, we want to be at least doing what other people are doing. So right now with our schedule the way it was, and I talked earlier about changing our schedule around possibly next year, this will be part of it. This is actually one of the big driving forces behind it. In order to be able to offer a full course of Algebra 1, we're doing it as an exploration this year. I've given the kids some incentives if they make well as a whole class, because we're making the whole class do 2 days in the resource period right now. And so far, I've heard nothing but positive reviews. Teacher is absolutely head over heels in love with it. And of course, if the teacher's loving it, then the kids, they're going to be more receptive to it. I'm not a math guy, obviously. I taught English, so I just kind of let her run the show, and I try to stay out of there and stay out of their hair.
So did you not like math?
Well, it's not that I didn't like math. It was that math didn't like me very much. So.
No, that's an excuse. No,
but I
think
by next year we'll be able to offer that full time.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's great for kids. Even if it doesn't turn into that, just having the knowledge and extra, I guess, reinforcement for, I think that's good. Okay, so now the biggest thing we're going to talk about, we have about 4 minutes left, is your fall festival.
Right.
It's coming up, and it is a fundraiser, so again, they're going to need money and money.
Always need money.
I know it's always about money, but no, it's really to help the kids. It's about the kids.
Right. One of the first things that kind of came through the grapevine when I got this job was the community would like to have a fall festival. And I think they've had it in the past some, but maybe not consistently, and maybe not last year.
Okay.
So that's something that we did at Woodville last year, and I had a lot of fun at it, and you could tell our kids really liked it. So we're going to do it again this year. And what will happen is we sell tickets just like a carnival or anything else. We'll sell tickets at the door, and kids will come in and they'll use their tickets to purchase the chance to play in a game. And then, of course, if they do good well in the game, they'll get a prize from each room. So we'll have 13, 14, 15 different games. And I think.
And they go in the teacher's classroom,
yes,
so it's all indoors.
I think I've heard rumor there's going to be a disco ball and maybe some disco dancing type stuff. I've heard rumors there may be, pony to ride, so some things like that.
That's cool.
Everything raised by that teacher from their game will stay in that classroom to purchase whatever they want to purchase. We're also going to begin taking money from our students, and whichever teacher raises the most money, whichever student gives the most money to a certain teacher, that teacher will get to have a pie in the face at the fall festival. I have thrown my own hat in the ring. I don't want to be, I don't want to be a dictator, so I'm in there with everybody else. So whichever teacher raises the most money, they get to get the pie in the face, or principal, or secretary, or nurse, or so on and so forth. Whoever gets the most money will get it.
I bet they all want to see the principal.
Yes, I feel like I'm an early favorite.
I would say so.
But that money
just the name principal comes with it.
Yeah, that money we're going to use for we're going to send that to breast cancer. That's going specifically to breast cancer.
Is that going to breast cancer or to help those?
Since we're doing the children, we're going with breast cancer for the pie.
Okay, perfect. All right, that works good. So. That's October 27th. They can buy tickets early. Is it cheaper or is it the same price?
It's at the door. It's at the door.
Period. Right. So it's at the door. It's going to be inside, so that's great. So there's no rain delays.
Right. And Alabama and Auburn do not play that day. That's the reason we chose the 27th.
That's a good check-in. You guys thought ahead. Okay, so that's good. And then, but on separate thing, that your kids can bring money and, get a pie in his face over here. That's good. Are you gonna?
It won't mess my hair up, so I'm not worried about it.
Well, that's true. But are you gonna actually wear like a plastic bag? I've seen some. That's cheating. Yeah. You need a pie in face and get soaked in pie.
Yeah, but it gets on my clothes, and I have to pay
you
for
can
my clothes.
wash the clothes. Let's just get it really good. So, well, thanks for coming on.
I enjoyed it.
It was a good show, and definitely community members and people who can help out with money always come to the Fall Festival or help send money in for the cancer care kits for the kids. So, well, we appreciate you being with us today, and we will see you next week.
Thank you.